Be warned, if you're after a high production value video, move on. So I've been trying to figure out how to vary layer heights through the walls, and I just started using Orca Slicer about a week ago, and this came to me as I fell asleep last night. So you can see there's actually three parts here. There is the yellow inside, the red middle, and the blue outside, and they're sliced at, the outside is sliced at 0.111, the middle is sliced at 0.5613, and the outside is excuse me, the inside is sliced at 0.333. So you should have basically three inside or outside layers for every inside layer, and about 1.5 inside layers for every middle layer. So you can see the layer height on the outside is very thin in the blue. The yellow is the inside, which is medium, and the red is the middle, which is the thickest layer lines. I think this is going to give a strong part and print fast. I'm not a huge fan of adaptive layer height because it affects the aesthetics of the part and the strength, I think. So being able to print the insides faster and the outside at a consistent layer height, I think, is advantageous. So I'll scroll down through some layers here. You can actually see the print, the various layers print at different heights. So if that's the top layer, you lose one outside layer, an inside layer goes away, an outside layer, an outside layer, an outside layer, an inside and an outside outside in the middle, outside, 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 inside, outside, middle, outside, 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 and inside, outside, 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 or excuse me, a middle in that case. So anyway, how I did this was I made 3 sketches in Fusion, or 2 sketches in Fusion. They're parallel to each other. One's on the XY plane, the other one's like 25 millimeters above it. I just sketched a couple splines, the interior splines, and then offset them 1 millimeters, 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters, and 4 millimeters. And then I lofted those one at a time. I'll go back here to the lofts. So the first loft, I believe, was the inside. I gotta turn the bodies on. So that's the first loft. The second loft, I believe, is the next layer. Or this may have been something else I was playing with. I'm actually lying to you. There was a loft I did something else with. But anyway, the second loft, I think, will come on here. So that's my second loft. That's my first loft, which you can see it's lopsided compared to the second loft, but it has to do with how it's drawn, and it's only coming off of the center spline. Now originally I thought that was a problem, but I actually use it as a feature. So as these things get lofted, all my lofts are done, and then I do some Boolean combines to turn them into just the actual pieces I want. So I've got the inside, which has these holes in it because of the way the loft was messed up, and like I said, I turned it into a feature. The middle layer, and then the outside layer, and I brought those into Slicer and changed the layer heights for the different parts, and Bob's your uncle. This is kind of exciting. Obviously Slicer can do it. It'd be nice if we could set up something you can't vary the initial layer height, which is kind of annoying, but to me, to get the overlaps correct, each subsequent layer should print to like 1.5 layers of the previous one and then go up by the multiples of the thickness, so the joints never line up. You can see as we move up through it, the outside line prints almost all the time, and then it fills between the inner and the outer, which are smaller, gets really deep, and then drops a middle line in there. And I think this is a pretty cool thing. So anyway, let me know what you think.